Good morning, everyone. It is the 13th Sunday in Ordinary Time. And we have this beautiful reading from Mark chapter 5. There's two stories that are interwoven here. And one is the story of Jairus, who was a synagogue official. He was an important person, and his daughter was dying. 12-year-old daughter was dying. Those of you who are parents, imagine that. And so we don't know if he had deep faith or if he had heard about Jesus as the miracle man, but he was desperate, and he kneels before the Lord and says, Lord, help me. Please come lay your hands on her that she may get well and live. And so they start off toward the house, and you can imagine Jairus's urgency here, like we've got to get there. And along the way, you can imagine the people pushing in, crowding in on Jesus. This woman who had been hemorrhaging for 12 years, who was unclean, who couldn't worship, who, if she touched someone, they would be unclean. And Jesus notices power goes out of him. And he says, "Who touched me?" And the woman comes forward. You can imagine probably her fear. But also think about Jairus. He's thinking, don't mess with her. I'm an important person here. My daughter's dying. We need to get there fast. And Jesus spends time with this woman who had been hemorrhaging. I think this is really important for us because sometimes we think, gosh, there's 7.7 billion people in the world. Everybody wants something from God. Who am I? I'm just a little person like this woman and I'm not important to God. But Jesus knows what he's doing, and he makes time for everybody. And he knew what he was going to do with Jairus' daughter, but he spends time with the woman, and, she's immediately healed. It's not that Jesus was made unclean by her touching him. She's made clean by touching Jesus. And so that's great for us to realize, too, that we don't make God unclean, by coming to him in our mess. He makes us clean when we come to him with a heart that desires him. So they move on, they get to Jairus' house. Everybody's crying because the little girl is dead, they say. And Jesus says, she's not dead, she's just sleeping. Now you can imagine they probably thought, this guy is crazy. So they go in, and what happens? Jesus says, and this is, I believe this is in Aramaic, Talitha kum, little girl, almost like honey, arise, this intimate gesture toward this little girl. And she gets up and she starts to walk around, and they were utterly astounded. So Jesus heals the woman who had been hemorrhaging for 12 years. He raises the 12-year-old girl from the dead. And this shows us that Jesus and God doesn't want us to die. Death came into the world through sin. But Jesus shows us that he is the way, the truth, and the life. And these people did die a physical death, but they rose to new life, with God in heaven. That's the prayer for all of us. And so let us come to the Lord in our littleness. Let us give him everything that we have and say, Lord, if you will it, you can heal me. Let's reach out and touch the hem of his cloak. Heavenly Father, we thank you and praise you for healing us, for desiring to heal us, for your loving us. Help us to come to you in our brokenness and our smallness.